What's going on, guys? Welcome back to our Surviving Bedrock series. Now, we are finally taking on this massive project of the hostile and passive mob farm. This chicken has really been getting on my nerves like the last 5 minutes. Go away. Yeah, the animals are still spawning up here on the wood. I don't know why, but I'm going to have to tear it all down soon anyway. After the last episode, I actually had to go to the end and go to a number of different end cities to get enough shells to get some shulker boxes, because trying to transport all the resources that I needed over here was going to be a major chore in itself. So rather than going back and forth 100 times, I just went to the end, smashed up a load of the end cities, got a load of shulker shells, got a bunch more spare elytras, because I've almost lost this pair at least 2 or 3 times, so having some few spare is always good. Now, to hopefully avoid this episode going on for far too long, I'm just going to be doing quite a lot of jump cuts as to progress updates, rather than time lapses or third person building time lapses or anything like that. So hopefully you enjoyed the episode anyway, because it's going to be recorded over the span of about a week to, or hopefully a week, because a week would take us up to, I think it's Friday, or the Sunday before Christmas, so I'm hoping to get it done by. Now, I went off camera and I done quite a lot of the maths involved as to finding out how much glass we needed. There was 109 chunks minus the 5 in the centre, which we don't need glass over, so that's 104. That's 104 of 16 times 16s, and it worked out as something like 24,500 blocks of glass we needed, which worked its way up to, I think it was 8 double chests, or just over 8 double chests. So I went ahead and I've got, so each 2 of these is 1 double chest, so we've got the 8 plus 1 spare, because we're going to need some glass for doing the waterways for the collection system and such. So yeah, all of this is filled with glass. It didn't actually take too long to get all of the sand. It only took about maybe an hour to an hour and a half to get this much sand that's then be smelted. So all in all, it didn't take too long to get all the glass. But what I am going to go ahead and do is I'm going to grab a bunch of these and actually start laying it all up. Now, the whole point of me laying... Oh, did that one just fall off the edge? The whole point of me laying all of this glass is... I'm hoping that... I should have really counted to see if I picked it up. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think I picked them all up there anyway. Yeah, the whole point of me laying the glass is to prevent the endermans from spawning. No, to prevent enderman spawns, basically. Because the last thing we want is endermen to be jumping all over our farm, because they can't be pushed with waterways. They'll just teleport, and then they'll also start picking up the grass blocks. So after about 3 or 4 hours of AFK in nighttime cycles, the enderman would have torn the place apart. Even now, I've been having to go round every other night to patch in the holes that the endermen are picking blocks up from, which is slightly frustrating. Now, I've got 9 on me. There should be 8 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, there's 8 there. Okay, so 1 didn't drop. I think it was just a particle effect that made me think that. So yeah, I'm going to quickly, well, not quickly, it's probably going to take a fair few hours. And, oh, please, let me sleep, let me sleep. No! Oh, there is so many. Oh, this is not good. Yep. Bail out to the slime chunk. Okay, well, I'm probably going to wait for night to pass, so the phantoms don't actually kill me. And we've got spiders down here. And I haven't got a weapon on my hotbar. He doesn't seem to be angry, so... Oh, with this many shulker shells in my inventory, it takes so long to move items. Okay, really? It's not letting me exit. Is this seriously going to kill me doing this? Let me exit, thank you. Oh my god. Well, that was a little bit glitchy. Yeah, I'm going to lay the glass and I'll bring you back after I've actually finished laying the glass. Get lost. So yeah, I guess I'll catch you back in a bit. Welcome back, guys. Now, it took probably the better part of around about 5 to 6 hours to actually lay the glass. I actually done it in probably like an hour and a half intervals and had a break in between, because laying the glass, it was really doing my eyes in. If you just look down at it like that, I'm not sure if you'll get the sort of feeling of it, but it does sort of skew your eyesight and make it go a little bit blurry. But Now, if you hadn't noticed, I am actually using the new texture pack that's got all the new Minecraft textures, which is free to download on the Bedrock edition now. The whole reason that I didn't have it beforehand is because I'm playing on the console, so I couldn't introduce my own texture pack on the PC, as you can. If I was playing through my PC connected to this world, then I could have been using it, but this has finally been released onto the official sort of download or the store section of Bedrock for consoles. And the best thing about it is that we've got clear glass now. It's the glass that is sort of like the glass from the city texture pack, which I'm very happy about. It makes it look a lot less streaky, otherwise there will be tons of white lines dotted about all over the gaff. So yeah, it took me a good 4 to 5 hours of doing that. But what it is that I want to do now is the whole plan of this. Now we've got like tons of animals spawning around here. We're going to be collecting all of these passive drops to sort of funnel them down to the center. And the best way that I could probably think of doing that, initially I was thinking of doing sort of like waterways every 2 blocks. But then I was thinking, if I'd done that, I am literally cutting out 50% of the spawning room for mobs, which is something that I really did not want to do. So instead of doing it every 2 blocks, the whole point I was going to be doing it in 2 blocks is to allow me to lay carpets in certain positions along the 2 blocks. So if I laid carpet there, and then there, and then say there, and then we had another waterway here, them carpets would then prevent spiders from being able to spawn anywhere along the 2-way strips. But I think that we can probably come up with another solution for dealing with the spiders, hopefully. But I'm going to see how the spiders affect the actual drop rate or the spawn rate of the other mobs. And instead of doing it every 2, I've decided that we're going to do it every 4. So it'll be like 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we'll have like another 2-way waterway there. Yeah, 2-way waterway. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then another one there. And then so on and so forth all the way down there. Now these ones will be stretching all the way to the very back. And then from these ones, what we're going to be doing then is having waterways coming in from this side. So let's say that comes back like so. So this waterway here is probably going to be, we want it to be at least 3 deep on every waterway, because we're going to want trapdoors along the top, and then we're going to need the water streams down below. So 3 plus another 2, no, plus another 3 here, another 2 drop down on here. So this one's probably going to be 5 deep. This one's going to be 3 deep, and then this one's going to stretch all the way to back there. And then it's going to be like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then another waterway is going to be cutting into, not there, really. That one's going to be cutting into there, so this one's going to be stretching all the way back, and then another 2 here. Now we're relying 100% solely on just the randomness of the mobs sort of wandering aspect. So eventually, if it is 4 wide, if we got a chicken here, as long as there's trapdoors on that side and this side, which is what I'm going to be doing, the mobs will just think that it's completely flat land for them to roam anywhere that they feel free to, and then sooner or later they're going to walk into a waterway, is what we're going to be aiming for. So yeah, I'm just going to be digging out all of these, and I'll probably bring you back once I've done that. So yeah, catch you back in a sec. Alright then guys, so that actually took way longer than what I thought it was going to take. I thought it was going to be, it was actually longer to dig all of the trenches than it was to actually lay the glass, which is a little bit weird if you think about it, but yeah, there was a lot more to dig out than I thought there was going to be. So we've got trenches leading all to the centre, then all the ones going off to the far sides there and there. We've got trenches leading to them. And the way that it's done here is where I said we're going to dig down by 5, and then the trenches leading to that one's going to be only 3 deep, so then they could then drop into the main trench line to then be funneled off to the centre. We've got chickens everywhere, and where they're collecting down there is getting a little bit of a nightmare. I've had to go down there about 3 times and clear the chickens out, just because they're becoming a bit of a pain. Now I've started laying trapdoors, and this is another thing that's probably going to take me quite a while. That's not what I wanted to do. Now, I thought that there wasn't going to be that many trapdoors. I was thinking, well, the trenchways aren't going to be that many, and it's only like only other side of the trenches. Yeah, this was 2 full shulker chests of trapdoors, and the trapdoors use quite a lot of wood to make as it is, and I thought 2 shulker boxes was going to be able to cover it when I sort of averaged the materials that I needed. And yeah, it hasn't at all. It's barely covered a quarter of it. So I'm going to have to go back to my base and actually do some serious wood harvesting and actually make an absolute ton of trapdoors. Like, I think I tore through all of the spare wood that I actually had here as well. If we hop up here, I can show you the map actually. I've been updating the map every now and again. And now that you can see we've got all of the trenches sort of dug, so all of them sort of lead in, it makes quite a decent pattern. I like the way it's coming out to look on the map anyway. Yeah, I've used up like most of the wood. Actually, this wood's still here, but I've used most of it already. There are shulker boxes from the glass that I've had put in there. We had 2 spare for our trapdoors. And yeah, so besides this wood, which is, look, if we get a couple stacks of this wood here, and let me just make a bunch of trapdoors. So that is that's 2 stacks of wood logs, so you get about, what's that? It's not even 3 stacks per stack, is it? It's about 2 3/4 stack of oak trapdoors per stack of logs. And oak wood is not the easiest wood to get lots of, especially very quickly, unless you've got a very decent tree farm, which unfortunately I currently have not. So I actually want to do it all in, because I started doing it in oak wood, and I don't want to go changing with multiple different trapdoors, and I don't want to have to tear the ones down that I've already put, because they're quite a nightmare to place as well, because you have to place them and then you have to go back and then close them all. And then I'm having to jump sides and then sort of pillar back up to get back on top. It's a whole thing, and it's just taking so much longer than what I thought it was going to do. And if you're wondering what day we're on now, because I have no idea what day this is going to come out. This is now I want to say Wednesday before. Yeah, it's the Wednesday the week before Christmas. So I'm hoping to get this video done, fingers crossed, by Sunday, maybe Monday at the latest, which would be Christmas Eve. But yeah, I'm going to go back to the base, get a load more wood, make a ton more trapdoors, and hopefully make a lot more progress before I bring you back. So yeah, back in a bit. Alright, so I've laid all the trapdoors now, no word of a lie. I thought digging the trench trays was longer than laying the glass, and then laying the trapdoors was so much longer than doing either of them. Probably took longer than doing both of them things together, is how long the trapdoors took. But our map now has very clear brown sort of waterway lines, so we can see exactly where the streams are going to be going from. Because the trapdoors count as a full block when you're looking from a bird's eye view, so they actually take up the entirety of each of the trenches. So yeah, we've got a nice little sort of line pattern here. I don't think they are symmetrical on either side. I've done it in sort of like a clockwise fashion. So I've come up here, done these ones, and I've come down here, then I've done these ones. So they're offline from one another on each side, which is unfortunate because it's going to wind me up now. But yeah, I've done all of that, and I went and got a load of ice. I've used up most of our wood now because I was making signs, because what I want to start doing is doing the waterways. And then to do that, we should have some ice, and then we should have some signs. I'm just going to give you a quick demonstration of how I'm going to be doing this. So let's grab you. Make sure we've got 2 free spots there. Is this Silk Touch? Nope, this Fortune. So switch over to there. Let's bust in here. Do that. So the way that we're going to be doing the waterways is we're going to be starting from the front first of all. Now there's a couple of issues that I can see me running into when doing this. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we're going to want to sign there, sign there, sign there, sign there. Yeah, as you can see, the animals are starting to stockpile up in these trenches. So each one of these waterways is then going to be pushing mobs into this main one, and this is the same for all of the 4 corners. And then, really, I jumped on the horse. Can you? Really, and now I've made friends with the horse. So we're going to push the water down there, and then what we're going to do is do one of these sort of water systems. So then we can just put some more ice up here, like that. Now the thing that we're going to be running into is that these 2 blocks here, obviously 2 high mobs and animals and that are always going to be getting caught in the water, and hopefully with the chickens and that they will just hop up, because they usually do try to flap up to the top of the water and they end up going into this one anyway. But with the new mechanic of the undead mobs just sinking in water, we may end up getting a build up of the baby zombies in gaps like this. So I'm going to see how our rates hold up once the entire farm's done, and if that does turn out to be an issue, then I'll probably go through and just replace these 2 blocks with either magma blocks or maybe some blue ice to I'm not sure if blue ice will push them across it though, the baby ones. That may be something that I'd have to test in a test world, like a copy test world, and then just spawn some mobs manually, see how the babies work in the channels, and if it does become an issue, I think magma blocks would probably be the easiest bet, but then I'd be worried about the other mobs sort of taking too much damage before they reach the center where they're meant to drop off, and actually dying in the water streams, because the water streams with this design definitely won't be pushing items over that gap unless I was going to say if I just put ice there instead, but then we wouldn't be killing animals, so we wouldn't need ice in order to move the drops. Oh my god. Get lost. And you. The animals are getting in the way so much at the moment. It's really? Really? Can we just get some signs? Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and hopefully get all of these waterways done in a very efficient fashion, because so far this week I've probably done at least around about 20 to 30 hours worth of this Minecraft work at the moment as it stands, and yeah, the bad thing about it and the annoying thing about it is it's not interesting to do, and it doesn't make you think when you do it. So I am just putting on some programs and watching something while I do this stuff, but it's because everything you do has to be done like 100+ times for this farm, because it is just so ridiculously big. Now at the end of it, I'm not expecting huge amounts of drops in a very quick or short amount of time. I'm expecting a constant and pretty much just a constant and a passive way to collect gunpowder. Is my main aim for this entire farm is I want gunpowder, because they've broken every single hostile type of farm that you can make on Bedrock. Well, making an easy sense anyway, and this is how comes I'm having to go ridiculously big on this one. But yeah, I'm just going to crack out and get all of these waterways done, so when we reach the end, obviously I can use signs to stagger it in the way that I want, and the reason that I've done this one first is so that we don't have the issue of sorting out signs at the end to stop the water from dropping off into the actual slime chunks. But yeah, I'm going to crack on and get this done, and I'll hopefully catch you back in a bit. And we're back. So the waterways once again took so much longer than I was hoping for, but I have finally got all of the waterways done. And I did actually die, I think it was 2 or 3 times doing the waterways, because I couldn't be asked to travel all the way back up to the centre point to sleep in the bed. Oh, I didn't mention actually, in any of the jump cuts I got rid of the wood framework. I think I'd done that after laying the glass. I'm not sure if you noticed it in the previous clips, but yeah. That actually took quite long to get rid of. I actually had to go repair my axe halfway through, and I've had to go back to the Pentaspawner to repair quite a few of my tools twice. I think I've made 2 or 3 trips back there while doing all of this. But yeah, it's quite easy to repair tools once you get over there. Now, we've got all of the waterways in, stretching off in each direction. Got our trapdoors in, so all of our spawning platforms are up and ready to go. I've been flying down here, trying to think of the sort of collection system that I want to do, and as you can see, if you're wondering what the sound is, we've got a zombie spawner just there. We're pretty much 100% reliant on surface spawn caps, so the caves and stuff underneath here, if we were to light them all up, would definitely improve the spawn rates that we would get in this farm, which I'm considering doing, but it's not going to be something I'm going to take on anytime soon. But as you can see, we've got loads of drops sort of building up here from the passive mobs, so we've got tons of meat, some leather, and we are getting quite an obscene amount of chickens sort of coming down here, because when they get pushed off in the words again, when they get pushed off in the waterways, they just tend to float down rather than fall and plummet to their death. Stupid chickens. But yeah, the collection system I'm thinking of is, as you can see, the new textures again. I'm liking the gravel. I'm liking the new textures for like the granite and andesite. The base texture for the is that andesite? Yeah, andesite I think looks absolutely terrible, but the polished versions look 100 times better. The normal smooth stone brick, I don't know if I'm happy or sad with it, because it looks very noisy. There seems to be too much going on for what's meant to be a very smooth and basic block. But I'm sure that we can learn to adjust with it. As you can see, we're using the scaffolding as a ladder to get back and forth up to our center platform. I'm going to be tearing down the beacon in a second to put our collection system in. I'm thinking of doing a 3-wide gap for magma blocks with a collection system of a hopper minecart running underneath, and having 3 tracks running around underneath, and then at 4 different points, like 1 point over there, 1 here, 1 that side and 1 that side, of having them dispense into a water system, going up to the center, taking our drops up to the very top. Now this is I believe it's Thursday night, it's quite late, so what I'm going to probably be doing is I'm going to try to crack out the entire collection system off camera tonight, so then I could get an AFK session in tonight, so then I could bring you back tomorrow morning to show you the sort of drop rate that we could expect. But no doubt that we're going to run into 1 or 2 little hinks or bugs in the system that we're going to have to try to fix at some point, but I'm just hoping to get the majority of this and to get the farm functioning so that I can do AFK sessions. And I was hoping for a little baby chicken. Can we get one? No, because we've probably got way too many chickens down here as it is. So yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to crack out the collection system, and I'll bring you back once I've got that all in place. So yeah, back in a bit. And we are back, guys. Now, I've made a little AFK spot up here after building the collection system. I've left it for a few hours now, because I want to see if I can figure out any of the bugs before I do a proper overnight AFK session. You are getting a fair few drops actually coming in. I keep on getting swamped by phantoms, but what I am figuring out is that when enough phantoms sort of build up in the nether portal, I'm not sure if them mobs building up there are staying within the sort of mob cap, like the surface mob cap for this area, or not. But I know that if I go through the nether portal, there is actually quite a lot of them in there. But for me to show you, have I got my bed anywhere around here? Yeah, if we go to sleep quickly, without getting hit, please. So they should start burning. So then I can actually show you the collection system and how it's all working. I don't think they swoop down anymore when they're burning, do they? Fingers crossed they don't. I think we're good. So yeah, this is just the wall that I've left here, building a sort of budget collection system. Now I'm going to obviously be doing a massive item sorter to sort all the items over here and get rid of all the items that we don't actually want to collect. I've made a mistake here. I was AFKing before and I sort of jumped down thinking I had my elytra, and I didn't, and I just plummeted to my death. So yeah, let's make sure we actually collect our elytra this time. So let's see if we can't find any bugs with the way it's working as it is. on down here. So as you can see, I've done a ring of the magma blocks, and I've got hopper minecart system underneath. And then on the 4 points, we've got I've got, 9 hoppers leading to one, leading to a dropper, leading to an automatic dispensing system. So they will then be dispensed into a water stream, which will then go to our water elevator, taking the items up to our collection point. Now, this is one of the issues I thought that we were going to be running into, and that is the spiders. Now, the spiders will eventually fall down, but they are going to be taking up the mob cap for a certain amount of time while they're just hanging about. So I'm not too sure if we should still try to implement carpets on all of the spawning platforms in order to block the spider spawns, but each time we lay a piece of carpet, we're then removing that block from being a spawnable block for any other hostile or passive mob. So I'm going to have to see how the sort of AFK sessions go. Now, with the minecart section, I have noticed this is the issue that I'm running into. Now, I've fixed this twice already in the space of about the last 2 or 3 hours. The minecarts are hopping rails, and when they're doing that, well, basically as it is that when they're going around the corner, a minecart can, if it's not properly loaded for any reason whatsoever, it can then jump over a rail. And then we've obviously got 2. One of them's jumped from, I believe, the inner line and jumped onto the outer line. When it's done that, it's then run into this other one. And yeah, so we've just got 2 hopper minecarts sitting there, which means 2 lines of our magma blocks aren't actually being collected from, which is not good. So I'm going to see if I can sort of think of a fix for that quickly, and I'll bring you back after I figure that one out. Alright then, so I've managed to think of a fix for it. It's quite a simple one. Rather than having 3 hopper minecarts going on 3 separate circles going all the way around, what I've done is I've just taken out 2 of the hopper minecarts, because it doesn't take longer than 5 minutes for this thing to do a complete loop on all 3 of the rails. That we're just going to have one running, and what I've done is where they sort of all parked up at the end when I need to switch it off. Now, the reason that I would be switching it off is if I'm going to leave the area going through the nether portal, I don't want to load and or unload and then reload the hopper minecart in a place like this. Well, how am I not making sense with this? It's very late. I don't want to unload the hopper minecart while it's moving, because when I do reload it when I enter the area again, sometimes it can just get stuck randomly anywhere on the track. So before leaving the area, I will be switching it off and just have them dock just here. So what happens is a hopper minecart comes along, instead of it coming in here, bouncing back and then going back on its loop, it is now coming here, then jump into the center one. It will then do its loop, then from the center one it will jump to the outer one, and then it will go all the way around, and then it will come here, bounce back on the outer one, and then it will work its way all the way into the inner line. So that's the way that we've got the collection system, and it seems to be a lot more reliable than using all 3. It seems to be collecting all of the drops fine, and I can show you the sort of drop rate. Whoa, and now I'm just floating. Right, I can show you the sort of drop rates that we are getting. It is after around about, it's probably been a better part of about 4 to maybe 5 hours, but I'm not too sure how much of that time the hopper minecarts were sort of stuck where they were. So it could be 2 hours worth, it could be 3 hours worth, it could be 4 hours worth, it could be anything really, anywhere within the 5-hour range really. So let's hop up here and see the sort of drops we get. Fingers crossed that we've got some gunpowder. Let's have a look. And we are getting a lot of passive mob drops, especially a lot of white wool. All the leather we could want, all of the raw meat we could ever want. The eggs are from when the chickens were actually down there. So are the cooked chickens from where I shot them with bows and arrows. So we've got gunpowder there. That's what? Nearly 2 stacks there. We got any in the hopper. I've got a couple bits of redstone, so witches are obviously spawning. And let's see how much we've got in here. Oh, we've still got another stack there, and another bit of a stack there. And I'm not sure if I've got any on me. I think I put that in one of these chests. So it's not too bad actually, considering that I don't know how long it was actually running for. So let's see how much gunpowder. We've got nearly 3.5 sacks of gunpowder from anywhere within a range of 1 to 5 hours worth of AFKing, and considering that this is not a permanent hostile mob farm, this only works 50% of the time for hostile mobs rather than it being covered and dark permanently. So let's say it was working for 3 hours, that would be 1.5 night cycles per hour. So you're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, what is it, 4.5 night cycles with 20 minutes apiece. So maybe an hour and a half of it being nighttime to 2 hours. I have no idea if that maths is right. I'm sure that one of you lot can point it out if it's not. But yeah, this episode's now getting on a bit. This is now, I think, the day before Christmas Eve, and I think I've got it to a point where I'm quite happy to AFK it overnight to see how it actually goes. So hopefully after Christmas, after a few AFK sessions, we should have more than enough gunpowder. And yeah, I thought that was going to be taken up. Let's put this gunpowder back in here. I'll probably, for the first episode of the new year, because I'm probably going to leave it now until after the new year, we are probably going to be working on this area, because I still need to implement a slime farm in here, which is going to be interesting. And I'm also going to have to sort out a massive sort of item sorter for up here, and I'm also going to have to start boxing and shipping all of this stuff over. But before I ship all of this over, I'm probably going to want to sort out a major storage system. But yeah, for today, I'm quite happy with how this has gone. I keep on hearing phantoms. I don't know why. Yeah, before, I know this episode's gone on a bit, and this has taken quite a lot of work. I know that it's been very jump cutty, and it's just been a lot of progress updates rather than me building on camera, but it was the only way that I was going to be able to actually get this thing sort of done and in a workable state for you to see it working before Christmas time. And I wanted it to be able to, for me to be able to AFK over Christmas time when I'm just leaving the computer on. Oh no, this is so bad, and I haven't got ender pearls on me, or on my hotbar anyway. There we go. Yeah, so I think that's going to do it for me today. Hopefully I don't get myself into any more trouble. Hey, look at all the meat coming in. I really wish they give you something else to do with the meat, because I've got more meat than I could know what to do with, to be honest with you, and I'm still getting more of it coming in. But yeah, that's going to be it for me today. Hopefully you've enjoyed today's episode. Hopefully it's not been too all over the place for you, and I'll hopefully see you all in the new year. So catch you later. Bye.